Hey guys, today we're going to cover the finer details of update 0.4.0. If you haven't seen the last Insider preview, I highly suggest you watch that one first since I cover all of the major features there. In this video though, we're going to talk about all of the things that I just didn't have time to talk about in the last video. And we're going to cover a few extra features that just weren't really ready to be shown yet. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get this rolling. First, we have some changes to the player HUD. There is now a slight black backdrop behind your stats. This isn't just for looks though, because now some stats will turn green, and then orange and red. So this backdrop is there to make sure that the green stats or the orange stats don't just blend into the grass or the ground. There are also some arrows now to indicate if your health is changing. This is because some items like bandages heal you over a long period of time very slowly, so this makes it a lot easier to quickly tell if your health is actually still going up or not. This new player HUD actually looks very similar to how the HUD originally looked in pre-alpha, which I kind of find funny. Now I mentioned that some stats will turn green when they get above a specific value, and this isn't just decorative either. In its current state, when you get above 90 food and water, your character gets a buff. This buff gives you slightly higher movement speed and a respectable amount of passive healing. Instead of just forcing players to participate in the new hunting and water mechanics for the simple reason of you need to survive, this actually provides a reward for players who take the time to collect a lot of food and water, which I think is a good thing. It adds more variety to the food and water mechanics overall instead of just being two annoying stats you have to be constantly taking care of. This buff will also make it easier to move around the map since it does give you that slight movement speed buff. We all know how boring it can be sometimes when taking a trip between the safe zone and a faraway location like maybe the factory harbor, so this is another option to speed up that travel time. Even when vehicles are finally added, this will still be a useful mechanic since vehicles will come with a lot of risk, and they'll probably be pretty rare too. It also goes without saying that this buff will be very useful in PvP since the extra movement speed and a little bit of healing can allow you to reposition quicker, while maybe taking an extra bullet or two if your enemy isn't pressuring you that much since the healing is a bit slow, but still, it's pretty useful. So, that's the UI changes and the new saturation, food, water buff, whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about the next feature, and that is changes to the AI. Specifically, the military AI. Their weapon selection has changed a bit. At missions, you're going to see a lot less pistols and shotguns. Instead, you're going to see more AKSUs, AK mods, Mosins, Mosin Ks, and BB-19s. That's right, the BB-19 is not super rare anymore. Rejoice. But now, missions are probably going to be a bit more difficult because almost every bot will be able to deal good, consistent damage. However, the actual damage of the bots at missions have been adjusted, so if you are wearing full armor at an epic mission, you will no longer get one shot by Mosin bots. That's right, it's finally over, no more epic mission one-taps. I know this is a minor change in the grand scheme of things, but it makes me pretty happy. I'm sure a few of you guys are also very happy with that change. But that's not to say these missions are going to be easier, quite the opposite actually. You're going to be seeing bots with AKs and Mosins a lot, and they can really quickly melt you even with good armor. Sometimes you will see shotgun bots at some specific missions, but for the most part, there's going to be a lot of AKs out there, and you're going to have to be careful. There have also been some changes to the map. Some new minor locations have been added. These are these little campsites that are now scattered around the map. These campsites will have some loot, so it might be worth stopping by. I don't believe any AI spawns at these camps, but that could change, of course. And alongside these camps, the already existing locations and towns around the map have been improved as well. If you've been playing for a while, you're probably used to this. As time goes on, locations are slowly improved upon. The actual terrain has been changed in some locations as well. Namely, a few new ponds that are scattered around the map in order to better spread out the spawning of ducks and the availability of them. And some already existing water features have had reeds added to them. That way the ducks can spawn there too. The next thing I want to talk about is the trader rebalance. We've already talked about the food and water side of things in the last video, but what I didn't really mention is that most military items in the safe zone traders have also been removed. Grenades are completely out of the traders, so you don't have to worry about grenade spam anymore. You can't buy police armor anymore. Actually, I don't think you can buy any armor. You can't buy Gorka. The largest backpack you can buy is a duffel bag. But honestly, the duffel bag was the only bag worth buying anyways, but still, supply is more limited across the board. So the days of buying a COD scope really early in the wipe and putting it on a Mosin is pretty much over. This makes it a lot more important to actually go out and stockpile basic military items, since you can't just go and purchase them anymore. This should add a bit more progression to the early game, since you have more things that you need to go out and find and stockpile. Still, this doesn't mean that the safe zone traders are useless. They still have some pretty good deals. 1k for a double barrel that can one-tap anybody up close is a pretty solid choice for new players. And you can still buy the AKSU, which is a perfectly capable early game AR, and 20k isn't a huge asking price either. Alright, well, I think that's it when it comes to this update. Bit of a shorter video, but I think that's okay. It's already on the public test server, so that means this update will be released any day now. It will come with a base wipe on official servers, so that means you will still have everything on your character and everything in your safe zone. That is if you play on official. As for the server that I run and most other community servers, we will be doing a full wipe, so if you're newer to the game or looking to get back into it, I personally think my server, Love's Bakery, will probably be better for you, since everyone will be on an equal playing field. Also, I still plan on doing a bunch of events after the update goes live. Yes, I'm still planning on doing the 5v5 tournament, for those wondering. It will probably happen about 1 or 2 weeks after the update goes live, but, you know, it's still gonna happen, so stay tuned for that. Personally, I am extremely excited for this update to release. I've been waiting a long time for durability and other mechanics like hunting, and I can't wait to hop on and record a ton. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.